Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of ABCs of Collections with your regular host, Daniel Dunbury, Doctor of Collections. Today, we're talking about the EI factor in debt recovery. And what's the EI factor? Simply the emotional intelligence in debt recovery. And what's emotional intelligence? It's just the capacity of one being able to manage his or her emotions as well as managing the emotions of other people, be it the customer, be it the debtor, those around you, being able to manage their emotions as well. So I'm going to share with you a few tips so that you'll always be on top of your game regarding the EQ factor when applying it in this DRB space. Number one, show empathy. Look, when the debtor or the customer does not feel that you are on his side, there's a wall, and all you do to connect with the customer becomes very, very, very hard. So you have to learn to be able to show empathy, empathize with the person, let them know you feel what they are feeling. In as much as you feel that feeling, you still have to do what you need to do, and they will meet you. At least you people get to meet at a center point, and there's a breakthrough in you getting your objectives done. Number two, building a good rapport with the customer, or should we say the debtor. Look, every human being loves relationship. That's one thing God has given to everybody. And when they know that you love them, or should I say, or probably have a relationship, when they know they have a relationship with you, that rapport is there. It makes it easier for you to get what you want from them. And what is it about having a good rapport? You remember their birthdays, send them messages, wishing them well on their birthdays, prayers, or whatever it is. Commensurate with them on probably they're having tragic periods, somebody death of a lost one. You know, one way or the other, they know that you are at their backs. They know that you are connecting with them. By so doing, you are bridging the gap. And by bridging this gap, you're having a good rapport. And it makes it easy for them to give out what you want from them, which is the main objective of you getting in touch with them in the first place. Number three, knowing your timing. Just like a football game, you know when to strike, you know when to defend. So it is in the DRB space when dealing with debtors. Knowing the right time to make a request for your customer from your debtor. For example, a customer is supposed to be giving an invoice to make payment, and the customer says, hey, I haven't gotten this invoice, so why should I pay for what I don't have an invoice for? It is your responsibility to provide that person, okay, with this invoice. Since you didn't have it, we'll get you the invoice. And when you've gotten that, when you've sent that invoice to that person, then you can now start placing your demand. Now you've gotten the invoice, you've gone through it, you see that these transactions were legitimately done by you, no issues, please pay. You get me? It's all about timing. Knowing the timing of when to strike, make your demands, when to draw back, when to ease up, and when to pile in the pressure. A good practitioner in the DRB space should always be conscious of good timing. Number, staying focused on the objective. Look, it is vital and it's very important you maintain the focus on the objective, which is getting the money from, because hey, it's all about getting the money from the customer or the debtor. I know we need to have a good rapport. I know we need to discuss. I know we need to familiarize to be able to ease the tension, bridge the gap, so that there'll be an opening for the customer to soften up and oblige us when we come calling. I get it. But in so doing, we might get distracted, because in building that friendship, we allow the customer to be in charge and we get distracted. We'll cause to mind now. In as much as you're staying focused, make sure you are always in control. That is vital, because when you're in control, you know you are the one, the buck stops at your table. You are the one that knows when to pull the strings. You are the one that knows when to call the shots. You are the one that knows how to get your money when you want it, how you want it. Remember, we're talking about tips in managing our EQ in the debt recovery space, right? Good. Number 5, the bedrock of it all, staying positive. Look, we've been talking about emotional intelligence, the EI, in the debt recovery space. Remember that? Look, we are all humans. We might have rough days, have good days, we have our ups and downs. But we need to learn to separate our emotional feelings from our professional feelings. What makes you stand out is staying professional. And a good professional entity must have the power of positivity. And if you're not positive, being professional in what you do, hey, it's not just going to be a bad day for you, it's also going to be a bad day for the customer. So irrespective of how you felt, maybe you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, someone said something bad to you, family, spouse, siblings, whoever it may be, hey, once you step into that professional space, shrug it off. Deal with yourself psychologically. Stay positive. Work on your mentality so that by the time you're flowing with your customers, you bring in the power of positivity. And you know, when you bring in the power of positivity, look here, you become limitless. Nothing stops you. What you're gunning for, the main objective, becomes easy to attain. So I tell you, stay positive, work on the power of your mind, and you learn to separate your emotions from your profession. Two different worlds. And by the time you bring in that power of positivity into your profession, I'm telling you, you're on top of your game, and makes you stand out as the best in the DRB space. So there you have it, folks. Thank you for tuning in today on today's topic. Kindly subscribe, share, like, and please don't forget that colleague of yours who brings his emotions to work. Kindly tag him as well, or her as well. So it is. We've got it all for today's episode on ABCs of Collections with me, your lovely host, Daniel Dumbiri, aka Doctor of Collections. See you next time.